One time, Mike Pence came, fat convoy, you know, and then I hear and I open the door and it's like a gun in my face, and he's like, "Move this truck now." "Hello, Mr. Vice President. Your Secret Service almost got me earlier." And he laughed, but I had the blank expression. I was like, I'm dead serious. They could have killed me and nobody would have known about it.
I'm Cody Troutman, and this is my podcast, the Cody Trout Pod.
Wait, so what are you talking about right now?
I don't like Michael Jordan, the person. I actually love his. I think he's the GOAT of basketball, without a doubt. I think LeBron is a better person. But
That's
Michael
fair.
Jordan, right? So here's my problem. So Michael Jordan, he came from humble beginnings and blase. I don't know the man personally, but I know he invests in private prisons. I know he crazy gambling, which I don't know. Actually, that's a positive trait of his. I love. But my problem with Michael is these $300 shoes. What happened to I have to spend a car note on a pair of shoes? Also, I'm biased. My car got stolen like a couple years ago, and I had a bunch of my shoes in the car. And ever since then, I don't know. I didn't blame the car thief. I was like, fuck Michael Jordan, man.
Yeah.
And so, fuck Michael Jordan.
That makes sense because the car thief only stole those shoes because Michael Jordan made them so high priced.
That's one of the factors.
If they were reasonably priced.
I think they just wanted to steal a car, and then they were like, "Oh shit! Look at all these Jordans in the back."
Damn,
Damn
that's
it.
tough.
It's all Michael Jordan's fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Cepeda Cheeks.
Hi, hello,
Wow.
hey.
Big round of applause in the studio. Got a huge studio audience today.
Damn.
Lacey Rains, Evan Hughes in studio.
Damn, they deep out there.
Sold out.
Damn.
Technically sold out.
Sold out.
When the venue only has 2 chairs and both of them are full, that's a sold out live pod.
This place is at capacity.
This is a capacity.
Standing room only.
That gives me an idea. If I ever produce a show, I'm only going to bring like 4 chairs.
Yeah.
So if 4 people show up, I sold that
You
bitch
sold out.
Yeah.
You sold out.
Yeah. I'm a headliner at that point.
There you go.
Well, I'm here with Cepeda Cheeks.
Hello.
And you have kind of a joke that relates to it. Your real name is Cheeks.
This is
But
me.
I would be careful about roasting this man about it because you are one of the best roast battlers and especially rebuttal artists I've ever seen.
What can I say? I've been fighting for my life since I came out the womb. No, like really, like just growing up in school, kids would just always be like, "Fucking your goofy name, Cheeks." So I had to like legit just be like, "Didn't your mom come in here in her underwear basically earlier or something?" Like, your mom's bald. You know, your dad's gone. You know, I had to say something.
The roast battle prowess that I got to witness recently. Last month, we were on the Tower City Comedy Festival together. We did the roast battle. I tragically lost in the semifinals. Totally rigged, obviously.
You did great though.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But you won by probably the widest margin of victory I've ever seen in a roast battle. I remember from your first battle, the first roast of the first battle, your opponent got like a little laugh. Yours shook the room, and it was over. John Wall and I were in the back standing next to each other like, uh-oh. And that was it.
They set that lady up.
I didn't know how that was going to go because the woman you were going against was like a really small Asian woman. And I didn't know how the energy, because like sometimes the crowd can rally behind like the meek one and you have like a bigger personality. That didn't matter. It was just over.
Because I didn't want to like do no tired like, because you know everybody would be like, do the Asian joke. I don't want to do all that shit. Because then people are like, this guy's a fucking asshole. It's a roast battle, yeah, but I'm not going to be like a piece of shit. So
that's true.
And then like see where we got him was she crossed the racism line first.
She did.
And
she
then I
did
was
big
like,
time.
uh-oh. I was like, you should have did that one.
Oh my gosh. Some of your rebuttals were so, I don't know, can we say them? Like, are you hiding the material?
I mean,
okay.
What was
I remember the one when she said something about you not seeing your son, and you said, bitch, your granddaddy name is Son.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember that. Was that like your first or second joke? It was over.
It was, yeah, something, yeah. And she was like, you haven't seen your son. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, I had to like compose myself first. I was like, damn, we just met like 5 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. So how do you, like when you go into a roast battle, because I really like try really hard. Like I write all these like jokes and then it goes okay. Do you like write a bunch of jokes, or do you go in kind of like focused on the rebuttals? How'd you prepare for that? Because it was such a dominant performance.
For that one, because I didn't know, I knew you and I knew John.
Yeah.
So like that was easier because I actually know y'all. But with her, I didn't know her.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I couldn't really like write jokes because I didn't know her beyond physical features.
Yeah.
And then that's boring. That's just, boring stuff to talk about. So like whenever I talked to her beforehand, I met her the day before and we talked or whatever. So from there, it's kind of like my observations. I got to like, all right, stuff is turning. And I think with me, like I really focus more on just like, let me just be quick with like comebacks because I don't know much about her to say nothing about her for real. And I mean, I think when it comes to roasting, I think we all got something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Like ain't nobody perfect. And it's just like, I don't go into it like hateful. I think a lot of people do roast and it's like just mean spirited. And it's like, I'm not going to be mean spirited. Like at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to laugh, joke. Like joke on me. I love when somebody roast me well because it makes me, I'm like, oh, I ain't noticed that. Oh, really?
I think that showed because you had like a very warm, non-confrontational energy. You were just like, oh, we're just going back and forth like friends. I think the audience picked up on that immediately.
Right, yeah. Because I mean, like, yeah, we're comedians. We're supposed to be making them laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't finna be like, you ugly bitch. Like, I ain't finna do no shit like that. Some people take it too far. I'm like, nah, just joke. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be, it's a roast, but roast are jokes. So when you're just insulting somebody, it's the difference between insulting and roasting.
That makes sense. Because insult, they're trying to be mean first, funny second. Roast, you're trying to be like funny first, maybe a little mean-spirited.
A little dash of mean.
Yeah. Man, that was cool. So did you know throughout did you know you were going to win?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, it's just because... because like I just do like it's just something that's like one of my life skills. Just growing up, that's what I did. Like in high school, middle school, kids would be like, "Fuck, Cepeda, man, shit talker." And like that's all I do. In the army, that's all I did was just talk shit just the entire time.
Damn,
it's gotten me in just terrible situations too, though. Let me make it clear. I am a great roaster. I have ended up in shitty situations because of this ability.
You've paid the price for your talent.
Absolutely.
Damn.
I done pissed folks off.
I know it makes me regret growing up in a community that was nice.
Man, what a bitch.
I know. That's why I was like, roast battles are so hard for me. I'm like, hey, I don't appreciate that comment. That's my rebuttal.
Hell nah. First day of school. Cepeda Cheeks in here. And some kids like, what the fuck? And then had to fight for my life.
Damn. It made you tough.
Mm-hmm.
What doesn't kill you makes you funnier. That's
Absolutely.
the new quote.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned a second ago you were in the armed forces. You were in the army.
I was in the army.
Did you join for like really patriotic reasons, or were you just like, man, listen, I want the benefits?
So I mean, my dad was in. And
okay, I didn't know that.
And one of the last conversations I had with him before he passed, he was like, I want you to join the army. And I was like, fuck no. I was like, hell no, I'm not joining the army. And then he passed like a couple months later. And then this recruiter came up to me just aggressive as hell. Just like, hey, bro. Join the army. And then I was like, maybe. And then I heard him out. And then I was looking at my life and I was like, man, I'm not finna do shit. I can't afford school. I can't afford to pay no tuition or nothing. So I was like, yeah, I'll join the army, dude. Do a couple years. And then a couple years turned into too long. But did a little 7 years. And then there we are.
So when you were in the army, did you ever deploy? What was the?
I went on road, so I didn't go to like combat, but I deployed to Korea and then Poland, Germany, and then Poland again.
Dang. Double Polish.
Double Polish.
That sounds inappropriate.
That is,
give him the old double Polish.
That is nuts. You just said DP on your podcast.
I did, and
That's
this is marketed towards preschoolers, so we're in real trouble.
Oh my goodness.
So you said the recruiter came up to you really aggressive. That's interesting. Like the army, I've never even spoken to an army recruiter. Do they try to make like calls to patriotism? They try to be your buddy? They try to bully you? Like what's their strategy?
They're really just groomers, bro. They just try to, I swear they are, bro. They just find high schoolers and they're like, you're fucking poor. Like join the military. Sign your fucking life away right now. And
Dang.
they just like throw all they weren't on some like patriotic shit with me because I could give a fuck about I didn't give a damn. But they were like, bro, you want a charger? Girls love dudes in the military. I was like, swear. I was like, sign me up right now.
Like, man, I'm going to get all these girls. I just got to live in the barracks with only guys for 7 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's an Army. I never thought about the Army recruitment strategy. Like, what would you... So it's not about patriotism. They're just like, hey, you need money, don't you?
Just like a used car salesman will sell you a car with like 40% APR and shit's falling off, just terrible. A recruiter will look at a dude with scoliosis, you know, saying asthma. It'll be like, we can get you there, bro. He got to make numbers. They got to make their quota, so they'll do whatever it takes to fill those numbers.
They have a quota for
So you have to get a certain amount. Yeah, you got to get a certain amount to meet your little goals. If you don't, you know, you get a bad little write up.
Damn. Is that okay? I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that like traffic cops or highway, they have quotas for how many tickets they have to write. Is that true as well?
I mean, I've never been a highway cop, so I don't.
That's true. I didn't know.
I can't speak for them, but I'm pretty sure they do. Or something like, hey man, you ain't gave out enough citations this month. What the fuck? And it's like, well, people are driving good. They ain't driving that fucking good.
There's one thing we know about humans. They're going to speed.
They're going to get on their ass.
I almost lost I did lose my license for a bit because I got, most of my life I keep on the straight and narrow. I like to drive fast. And I got pulled over going 148 in a 45 one time. That is a little bit over the speed limit.
You're going 148?
I was.
You're going 103 miles over the fucking speed limit?
I was.
Yeah, you should have lost your license for that.
License. And the officer, he pulled me over. He said,
how did he get you?
Well, when I saw the lights, I stopped. I probably should have kept going.
Yeah.
But, I just panicked. I was like, you know the most embarrassing part? I was listening to Crazy Town by Jason Aldean.
I've never heard that song.
It's not that great. It just like is really high energy. And I was like,
just slamming foot to the pedal. Yeah. That's nuts. 148.
Yeah.
I don't think my car can go that fast.
I think that was the problem. I think I need like an old beat up car that doesn't go that fast.
What do you drive?
A Challenger.
Well,
got it from my military service.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, if you're driving a Challenger, it's fine. Go 148 and a 45.
Yeah, my Army recruiter said women loved guys in Challengers, and they do not.
Well, maybe it's
guys love guys in Challengers.
No, they love dudes in Challenges.
Nice car.
Just like if you like get some muscle on you, you think like women will be like, oh, look at you. No, they don't. It's other dudes.
It's guys, yeah.
Like, bro, you're so freaking jacked. How much do you bench? I'm like, get up the fucking way.
Yeah.
You know.
One of my friends, he's like really big and buff, and I, to your point, asked him years ago. I was like, dude, like, what's it like? Is it fun, like, showing your amazing body off to women? He was like, women don't find me attractive.
They don't give a damn.
He's like, dudes slide in my DMs all the time, like, bro, your pecs are insane. Like, I want your back. I'm like, Jesus.
You know what's weird is like the new trend is like fitness influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the dudes would be like, he has a great physique, great genetics. I'm like, that's a crazy way of just saying, this guy's black, man. He's fucking. His black jeans, just so good.
Great genetics. That's so funny.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. So you mentioned it earlier. While you were in the military, I was asking if anything crazy happened. You said something crazy did happen.
Oh, so many crazy things happened. But I say the craziest, one time Mike Pence came we were doing like a training exercise, like 2 weeks. We were out in the field. And Mike Pence like came to visit us, and he came like fat ass convoy, you know. And I used to drive our like brigade commander. I was like his like driver, like communications dude. So I would fix his radios, and like so he was coming to like visit our unit. And when he came up, you know, he had a long old convoy, like vans wide, like miles, ruined traffic in the whole city type thing.
Just for him to get there, or was it like a big?
Yeah, just like for him to get there. And I was parked in a truck on the road he was not on the road, but near the road that he was supposed to be coming. And the dude that I was driving, he like went somewhere else to sleep, but I was asleep in the truck.
Okay.
And in the Army, you're not supposed to drive without somebody ground guiding you. So somebody has to stand in front of the vehicle. That way you don't run, like let's say somebody's laying on the ground or, you know, something.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's for safety. So I couldn't move it because he wasn't around.
Gotcha.
So at one point I'm asleep, I hear a tap on the window, and I open my door, and I'm like, what's up? And it's like Secret Service dude, and he's like, hey man, we need you to move this truck. And I was like, all right, cool. And I closed the door, and I went right back to sleep.
Shit.
Didn't give a fuck about. And then I think I slept about 2 minutes, and then I hear and I open the door, and it's like a gun in my face, and he's like, move this fucking truck now, move it now.
It escalated that quickly?
Oh brother, listen, they could have killed me, and nobody would have known about it.
Damn.
I shouldn't have said this on here. No, I'm playing. I'm just playing. But no, yeah, I moved the fuck out of that truck though. I moved it, and then Pence came, all his people, and they were do. Everybody was dick riding. Vice president.
What's that like to witness in real time? Like all these guys that really well, all of a sudden start kissing ass.
Just dick riding.
Yeah.
It's honestly hilarious. Yeah. Super funny. I'm like, man, I thought you was a real one. And then he spoke to me though. He was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hello, Mr. Vice President. I said, your Secret Service almost got me earlier. And he laughed, but I had the blank expression. I was like, I'm dead serious. And they had a gun in my face. And he was, you're all right.
What if he was like, you're all right. You got great genetics, by the way. Love your physique.
I'd fuck with him. I'd be like, thanks, Mr. Vice President.
That's fun. I think, like you were talking about, the dick riding, the glazing, the kissing ass. We see that a lot in comedy too.
Oh, all the time.
Like anytime somebody is like a level above where you're at, anytime they come around, everybody's just like, oh, always like fucked with your shit. Like you're the best.
I think you should give people their flowers. Like I'm not against just giving somebody hype, or like complimenting somebody. But I think one thing I hear a lot is somebody will be like, I fucking hate that guy. Let that person come in there. Man, you're killing it, man. When are you going to put me on something soon, dude?
Like, you're right.
You don't get the fuck out of my face.
That's the one. You're right. Like complimenting people. You're right.
To get something out of it.
It's the transactional element.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when it's whack. Like if you if you support somebody, just support them. You don't got to do it to get something.
Yeah.
Like that's when it's whack.
I agree, though. Sometimes you do hear people talk shit on somebody, and then when that person's around, they're like really complimentary of them. That is strange. We were talking earlier. I always think a funny story to share is like your worst show, worst bomb, worst like road experience in comedy. Do you have any that stick out in your mind? Because I always think those stories are so funny.
Actually, this ain't the worst, but I was scared. I did a show in Hinton. John Wallen did this show, and I walk into John was like, man, yeah, they gonna love you there, man. I walk into this place, it got just don't tread on me flag, Blue Lives Matter flag. One flag just said fuck Biden. I was like, what the? I was like, they're finna kill me in here, John. Why the fuck did you book me here? He's like, no, they're gonna love you. And it was crazy though, like they did though, like they really did fuck with me. But then so then at one point they go, hey, we got one other black lady in town. We're calling her now. And she legitimately came to the show. Like they called her. She was a cop. And they were like, yeah, we got one other black person in this town. And I guess it's just to prove, I didn't believe them. At first I was like, shut up. And then she pulled up and she was like, hi. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do have one other black person. So I have doubled the black population of this town by my very presence.
They're like, you must know Deidre. Look, we're called Deidre right now.
She got there immediately. I guess she was also like, wow, I just wanted to see another one in person.
That's so funny. I did that show as well. That is a rowdy room.
Oh, yeah. That's super rowdy. I was scared for my life. I told him, I was like, my location is on, so try it.
I remember I did the show that I did there. Did John have everybody go up twice when you were there?
I went 3 times. Then they asked me to do it again. They were like, we want that guy to go again. They were like, which guy?
So did you do crowd work or like just a different set? How did you do it?
I just talk shit. Yeah, I just crowd work. So I didn't like my set first time and like a little, and the second time and the third time I just crowd work.
Yeah.
It's also like 11:30, 11:45. They drunk as hell. No, they were just like super drunk as hell, and they just like, go again. And I was like, I don't know about that. Then the bar owner dude, he's like, I'll give you $50. I guess, do like 10. And I was like,
when I was there, we all went up twice. And so, did you ever meet Nick Kissy?
Yeah.
So it's like the real tall, skinny, physical guy. He was on that show as well. And when we went up twice, he did the same set that he had done the first time. It was so funny.
He did the exact same joke. What the crowd say?
They were just perplexed.
Like, nah, we hoped you had more jokes, boy.
Oh man, that was so funny. Yeah, I didn't expect to go up twice, so the second time I just did like crowd work. I asked because I guess the show was technically in Cedar Lake, but like the bigger town is Hinton, and they don't like Hinton. So I just asked him about like the rivalry between.
I do remember that. Like, we're not hitting.
Yeah.
I said, well, when I put in my Google Maps how to get here, Hinton, Oklahoma is what I pressed. So you need to take that up with geographers. Mm-hmm. No, we're not Hinton. Don't call us that.
I'm trying to think, what would be my worst? Oh, I did. Oh, this was a bad one. So I've told the story of my worst one before on the podcast, and I have almost a dozen listeners. Everybody heard this, you know. But no, the worst one I did a show when I was like 7 months in, and they said, hey, come out to and the guy that hyped it up, I'll just tell like the Cliff Notes version of it. He said, this is the first comedy show my town has ever had. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have like a parade. It's like a festival. I was like, holy shit, how am I getting this opportunity? That should have been the red flag. Like,
right.
you know, and he's like, okay, you're going to do 30 minutes. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. You know, I didn't even have 3, you know? So on the way there, he calls me. He's like, hey, also it's got to be clean. And I was like, you should have told me this 3 weeks ago.
Right.
I don't have any clean jokes. And then, it's 4 hours away. And so then when I'm almost there, he calls me again. He's like, hey, the headliner dropped. You're doing 45.
45?
I was like, Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
So I get there, and the pin he sent me, it's just like the middle of a field. But there's a concrete slab next to an intersection next to like a gas station. And I'm like, hey, I think I'm in the wrong spot. He's like, no, I see you. He gets out of his car. He's like, and so he just had a mic, an amp, and a concrete slab.
Was there any people?
Not yet. Oh. And so I was like, when are the people coming out? And he's like, oh, trust me. Like, once it gets close to showtime, we're going to pack this shit out. I was like, he said there was going to be food trucks. He's like, yeah, there are some scheduling issues. Don't worry about it. So in total, the audience that showed up were his grandparents and his sister's husband and his 2 nephews.
Assisted income?
No.
She was like, ugh.
And they sat like 100 feet from the stage. And they just like played with the kids the whole time.
Damn.
So before the show starts,
you just narrated.
He told me, he's like, I'm going to do 30, you're going to do 45. So I think I have 30 minutes to go through my material and be like, what can I speak about for 45 minutes?
Right.
So I'm just sitting off to the side. Before the show starts, a limousine pulls up. And out steps a girl in a prom dress with like a big sash on. And it said like Miss Strawberry Parade 2022 or something like that. So she comes out, and they raise a flag, and she sings the national anthem. Then she gets back in the limo, and they drive away.
It's kind of sick, actually. This doesn't sound like the worst comedy show at all.
And then right before it starts, a pastor shows up.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
He prays over the event, and then he leaves. None of them stayed. He left. And so the guy's like, all right, now we can get started. I was like, oh, my God.
That's dope as hell. They sang the national anthem and prayed over the comedy event.
I thought he's going to do 30, then I'm going to do 45, so I have 30 minutes to work it out. He gets on stage and he goes, thank y'all for coming out. Give it up for Cody Tribe.
He set you up.
And so I was like, oh. And so I was sitting on this bench and I was like scrambling. So he starts like roasting me. He's like, wow, unprepared. He know about this.
Threw you under the bus too.
I get up there.
This guy's an asshole, bro.
And I spoke for 45 minutes.
There you go.
I got one laugh at 17 minutes in on the setup of a joke. The grandma chuckled, and that was it. And that was my worst show. 45 minutes of bombing in a field.
Well, 44 minutes
That's
of bombing.
True. One of those minutes, I found it a little bit.
Got a little
there.
giggle for 1 minute.
Yeah.
So
that was the worst one. I'm trying to think of, because I've told that story before, if there's any others that stand out. Do you have any others that stand out?
So many. One, it was like very early on in my comedying.
Yeah.
And I did a show. I can't remember the place. It was like South Tulsa. Nice. And I was doing my set, and this lady called me the hard R, like mid-set. Ooh. Just like out of nowhere. She was like, and I was like, I thought I misheard her, so I was kind of like, but then it was like, did she say it? So then I like, hey, crowd, random, because that's a serious accusation.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if I heard her right. So I was like, hey, crowd, weird question. Did she just call me that? And they were like, no, yeah, she did. She absolutely did. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I like cussed her out for like 5 minutes. Damn. And then Bar threw her out. And then they were like, we're so sorry about what happened. Please forgive us. And I was like, I had a drink tab. So if that could just disappear, that would maybe I'll forgive you
Did
off.
they take care of it?
Of course. No, yeah, no.
There
yeah.
we go.
But no, yeah.
The first step of reparations.
No, not at all. I need way more than that.
So the lady that said that, was she regretful at all?
No, she stood 10 toes, actually.
Damn.
You got to respect that type of intensity, you know.
I was going to ask if somebody is being racist and then instantly backpedals, or if they're which is...
Well, you're still a racist, but now you're a bitch, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're a pussy. But when you stand on it, it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, at least you're dedicated to your cause.
It's like, you're wrong, but at least you have something you stand for.
Right, you know. But not yet. That lady, she was like, nope, I said what I said. And I was like, well, fuck you then, bitch, you know. I still had like 10 more minutes on my set, and I was like, well, I still got to get these jokes out, too. So
you're like, Sergeant Cheeks is about to discipline.
Oh, that was Cepeda. That was...
So... in the military, you have a joke about like being Sergeant Cheeks. How many ranks is it from private to sergeant?
4. So private is an E1.
Okay.
Private 2, private first class, specialist, sergeant, staff sergeant, sergeant first class, first sergeant major of the Army.
And how high up does it go? Is the top admiral or general?
So there's enlisted and non-enlisted
or
non-commissioned officers, and then enlisted. So on that side, it's second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major. I'll be honest, I forgot the rest. It's been a while, but no,
way more than I do.
So like admiral, that's like Navy, and then
okay.
You know, but for Army, it's like second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, the general, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. There's only a 5-star in like active war.
Okay.
So if there's no war going on, there is no 5-star general. But
okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 different sides. Then there's warrant officers.
Warrant officers?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's like, we joke like they don't do shit, but they do shit. They're just like specialists like in their jobs. So they're kind of like the ones behind like coming up with training and like development and stuff like that. They're like experts in what they do versus like, we all are, but you know. They're like the big brains. That's why you don't see them, because they're either doing some research and or at the crib, to be honest. But
what was the hardest part of the training that you had to undergo?
Other people. Like basically you're just around a lot of people that just all types of different backgrounds. Like, for example, at my bunk, to the left of me was like this Hispanic dude. And then to the right of me was like this country bumpkin ass dude.
Yeah.
And he would just ask me dumb shit. He'd be like, I've never met a black man before, so is it true this and that? And I'd be like, is it true you kissed your sister? And he'd be like, that's too far. I'd be like, shut up, bitch. You know, it'd be some people who aren't even like American citizens yet. You get some people that are like from the South, the East, a lot of people from Guam, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people from like Samoa. So like, you just get people from different backgrounds and you're going to clash. And once you like you build friendship, blah, blah, blah. But they don't talk about the enemies you build in the military, you know. Some of the people I hate most in life I met in the military.
And they were fighting on your side.
Define my side, you know. But no, yeah, like you're right. Like some people I just genuinely like. If I had like a sinister 6, like my 6 most hated people in my life, good 4 of them I met in the military.
Dang. Well, okay, so one thing I did want to talk to you about, and I made sure it was okay to talk about before the pod even started. You are a single black father.
Why do you keep saying black? No, I'm fucking with you. Yes,
but that's the context I want to provide, because I think from my outside perspective, having never experienced it, I think that society views single black fathers in sometimes a negative, unfair light. Is that a perception you have as well? Like a general stereotype that gets thrown around?
Well, I mean, because I just I take care of my child. So I feel like I don't get hit with it because you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
But like, no, I hear it now. You know, of course, like folks just, they got some slick shit to say.
Yeah.
I notice one thing I don't like, right? I don't like when people refer to your kid's mom as baby mama.
Okay.
Like, for example, like even like white people, they'd be like, so how are you and your baby mama? I said, first of all, what the fuck? It's my child's mother, It's my co-parent.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, shit like that. Or just like, yeah, people love to like, nah, but I'm in my son's, like, I take care of my child, do whatever it takes, for my son. So,
and that's something we don't get to spend a ton of time together, but we do comedy together, so we know about each other's lives. And the thing that always comes up as your priority, even over comedy, is being a good father, being present in your son's life. I know that's something you're really dedicated to. So I just wanted to know more about like being a single dad. If there was like extra motivation of like, hey, I know there's some stereotypes out there about single fathers culture that I'm gonna rebel against, or are you not even worried about that? And it's like, this is my son. That's all I care about.
I mean, yeah, like that's my child. I brought him into this world, and I'm gonna dedicate my life to making sure he's okay. You know, ensuring his welfare and his growth. And then, like, of course, people view black fathers as a certain way. And I just tell them, shut the fuck up. Because I know some nut-ass white fathers,
Yeah.
You watched the news tonight, man. Father of 7 killed the whole family, Now I have a picture of him on some jet skis or some shit.
Yeah.
So, like, it's always, it's always, like, how they talk. Even, like at the roast battles. Not saying I'm mad about it or nothing.
Yeah.
But, like, every, roast battle, motherfucker be like, fucking black guy doesn't raise his kids. Doesn't fucking watch his kids. And I'm like...
Those were I remember multiple roasts against you that were about.
So that's the stereotype. And like, yeah, of course, I'm especially inclined to be there, be a good father, but also it's just natural. Like, that's my duty in life. And above all else, I'm gonna make sure my child's all right.
That's cool, man.
Love that dude to death.
Because I don't have any children. I think we're pretty close to the same age, right? I might be a little older than you.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah. So we're pretty close to the same age. How old's your son? He's
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
So our life experience diverged so much when we were around like 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
Was having a kid something that was always like, hey, I want to be a father. I want to have a son.
Well, not at that time.
Not at that time.
But yeah, I always wanted, kid in the future, but that kind of took me by surprise. I was also in the Army at the time still.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That was just, I was like, well, if it's one thing I needed, it was more stress. But I always wanted kids, but then they came a little sooner. He came a little sooner than, let me not say they. Don't want to manifest shit. But, he came a little sooner than I expected, but all the same.
He just couldn't wait to meet. He's like, Dad, I'm ready for the world.
So you're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I am.
So what's your hope for him? Like, as your life experience you're trying to pass on to him, what's your hope for your son, that he learns from you, how he takes on the world?
Don't be a fucking lame,
Don't be lame.
Don't be a fucking lame. Be respect. I just want to be respectful, hardworking. Just work hard. One thing my dad always told me was, I don't care what you do in life, but whatever you do, be the best at it. So he's like, if you end up being a drug dealer one day, you better be the best drug dealer on the block.
Better be moving weight.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a bum, you better be the best bum out there. Like, have the best little give me change sign or something, like whatever you
spinning them.
Right. Whatever you choose to do in life, be the best at it. Because why are you wasting your time doing it if you're not aspiring to take it to the best? So that's one thing I want my son to be fulfilled in whatever he's doing. I want him to fulfill his life purpose. I want him to excel in whatever he chooses to do.
Yeah.
I want him to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit, and just be respectful. A man, be a man with morals, values, integrity, and just like a good person. And that's all. I mean, you ain't gotta do nothing else besides that. Don't put me in a home. And that's about it, man.
Dude, that is a great list of hopes for your son.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're ever looking for another son, I would love to.
I'm not.
I would love to espouse some of those.
Listen, man, and that's the thing. I do want more kids, right? But it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's all consuming too.
It's all consuming. You see these rich dudes like Elon and Nick Cannon, they can have all the kids they want, but like motherfucker like me, ugh. I remember when like the Roe v. Wade stuff got repealed, and they were like, men should get vasectomies. And at first I was like, whoa, how we get to that point? But now I'm like, hold on, I see what y'all was talking about now. Forgive me, y'all. I was a little premature. Not anymore.
There we go.
But nah, man. I genuinely do want more kids though. But like, I need this comedy stuff. When is comedy stuff? I don't know, because that's the thing too. Is like, let's say I do make it bigger in comedy, I'm always gonna want to make sure I'm there, like for my kids. Though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, my dad wasn't home because he was doing a stupid show. And that's the thing with comedy too. Is like, I've done shows where I be like, hey son, I gotta go do my show. I'm like, all right, dad. And you ever do like just a dog shit show? I could spend this time with my child, you know, like. Or like I went and found a babysitter to do a bum ass show, and it's like I could have saved that money.
Yeah. Yeah, man, there's just so much more stakes involved. But would you say that it has maybe sharpened your focus a little bit, where you're like, listen, I got to make this shit happen?
Right.
Like,
yeah, because I will say it's gonna sound crazy. I take comedy seriously.
No, I can tell. It shows.
You know, and it's like you can't take it serious, but you got to take it serious. Take your work seriously, but have fun. You know.
I think the best way I heard it phrased was like, you can't take yourself too seriously, but you have to take your craft very seriously.
Right.
Kind of that mindset.
Right. And I take the craft extremely seriously, you know. And like I go up there and just goof the fuck off, but at the same time it's like, well, I'm doing this for a reason, y'all.
For sure.
I'm not just up here bullshitting. Just like I want to do something with it.
I think you're one of the few comedians that I know personally that's kind of around my level that I truly believe will make it.
Thank you.
Like of all the people that we work with, you know, whether it's in Oklahoma or kind of even in the surrounding states, everybody knows everybody a little bit. You're one of the few that when people ask like, hey, who's like the best around? I was like, have you ever seen Cepeda Cheeks? I was like, that is our pinnacle.
You. I appreciate that.
Dude, I mean it. It's
thank you.
From the first time we did that show together in Wichita, I was like,
at a Barley Corns.
Yeah, that place kind of rocked.
I love it. Yeah, every time I've done that show, I've had a great time.
I remember when we did that one, I was still, because I was about 11 months in. Like I was just under, so I hadn't done a ton of shows, and I didn't realize how like awesome that show was. I just thought like, oh yeah, now that I'm getting better, I'm just gonna do good shows like this.
Right.
No,
no, I mean
that show rocked.
That's the crazy part about comedy, right? Is like you do a killer show, you know, you do something big, and then your next show is just like, like you do a fucking gas station or some shit. You be like, what the fuck?
Oh man,
but that's what I love about comedy. Honestly. I mean, because I don't know, I think a lot of comedians take for granted. Like, let's say you do a little rinky-dink show, only like a handful of people show up. People don't understand. Those people who showed up, I don't know. I take any one person that shows up. I'm like, well, thank you for that.
Yeah,
because we could have been in here on an empty room. So if it's like 5 people, like, well, we're gonna make these 5 people laugh, or like, those be the ones that I have the most fun at.
You know, that makes me think of something that when I see other performers do, and you know, I'm not gonna like be critical because again, I've only been doing it a few years. I'm sure I'll look back in 10 years and be like, oh, I was an idiot. But one thing that pisses me off is when you're at a show that's like a light turnout and people get up and they roast the people that did show up.
Right. I hate that shit. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we have 6 people in this room. Insult the people who aren't here. Like, right.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, bitch, to see you. Like, what the fuck? No, yeah, I hate that shit too. Because it's like, this room no one showed up. And I'm like, who you mad at? Like, like don't get mad at them because they did. They got dressed, they drove, they bought a ticket. Like, be nice to them.
Yeah, it takes a lot to like, especially for like a non-famous local comedy show.
Right.
It takes a lot for somebody to go out to that, and then people just get up there and they're like, fuck this venue, fuck the audience.
Fucking this big nose bitch right here. Well, I don't think people understand, man. People taking valuable time that they have off.
Yeah.
They're going to your comedy show. They have jobs too. They have kids. They have bills. They're taking however much a ticket costs. They're taking that hard-earned money. They're taking their time and they're bringing it to come see you, or you and some other folks. So why would I go and go, you dumb motherfuckers, why would you spend that money here? Now, if it's, you know, like, yeah, I don't get that though.
Yeah, it is a little strange. But I'm also kind of like that in general, where like, if somebody bombs a joke and they get pissed at the audience, I don't like that.
Or when they hit you with the, y'all didn't like that? And they get mad at the crowd.
Oh, I guess you guys don't know about history. It's like just something like that.
You guys don't like comedy?
thought this was a comedy show.
Actually, we fucking love comedy. We came here for some.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
My favorite is when somebody will say like the most heinous, edgy shit, and they're like, "Oh, I thought this was a comedy show."
Oh yeah,
Those are the wildest ones.
that shit happened the other day. I'm not gonna say, and which everybody got their style. Everybody has their style, so I can't never be like, this person's style sucks, or I'll say it's not for me.
That's a fair way to
But
put
one
it.
thing I will say is I notice certain styles don't connect with audiences. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say the style sucks, but it's not compatible with the majority of audiences I've seen it used in front of.
That's a fair critique.
It's
Like, listen, this style is not for me, and it's also not for any audience I've ever seen.
Maybe you're in the wrong country, state.
Okay, so one thing I like to do is a segment called Teach Me Something.
Okay.
So something that maybe I don't have a lot of knowledge about, but you're really into outside of comedy. Just give me like a little lore deep dive on something that you're interested in or passionate about. I remember before we started recording, you mentioned like wrestling, sports, writing, history. What's something on your mind that
My
you just
boy
wanna...
Evan can attest. He's also a fellow wrestling fan. I love wrestling, man. I love this since I was a little kid, and right now it's just at its pinnacle. Like this is the best it's been in a minute. And
when you say pinnacle, are you talking in terms of like star power, quality of product, marketability?
So I'm not going to say star power. So how familiar are you with wrestling?
Only like on the fringes. Like I know some of the names. I know a little bit.
So
about
like John Cena,
No,
The Rock, Stone Cold, blase. So
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, you're a gooner. No, so right now, but no, she's an example of that. So right now, right, wrestling on all fronts. Because back in the day, right, they'd only be like, just like the buff white dudes get all the show.
Okay.
And then like women will get like 5 minutes in the show.
Okay.
And it'd be some demeaning ass, like mud wrestling ass match or some shit. But now it's like you get everybody. It's like it's much more diverse in the people being showcased. It's Vince McMahon, he's out of here. So it's like, he's gone. It's so much better now. The women are like making each other bleed and shit. They're beating the shit out of each other. A girl last night, she came back. Her name's Jade Cargill.
Okay.
She's like this jacked lady. She came in there and she jumped her old home girl because she ended up jumping her. It's like a athletic soap opera, bro.
Damn.
It's really just. You ever watch Young and the Restless? You ever spend the night at your grandma's house and she made. You never watched Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful?
No, I've never
Y'all
heard
hip
of any
to
of
Young
these.
and the Restless? See, you don't know Young and the Restless?
My cultural knowledge is
What
really
about
poor.
General Hospital?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never
Damn, what do you
interacted.
watch?
Ah, man.
You don't watch wrestling. You don't watch soaps.
What do I watch? I watch a lot of comedy. I watch mostly just like stand-up. and
Cody, watch
stuff
other
like
shit.
that. I know.
You got to give your brain a break. Watch other shit.
I'm trying to think, what do I watch? I watch the NBA a lot. Like if I want to just chill out, like I love watching basketball. So
Who you got winning it all?
in my heart, I want the Thunder to win. I'm the biggest Thunder glazer there is.
Probably are going to win, though. So
But who do I think has a chance? And then I want to get back to because I want to hear your. And then I didn't mean to derail us here with my lack of cultural knowledge. With the Thunder, oh my God, that would be the best thing ever. But I think the Celtics, the Cavs, and like maybe the Nuggets, maybe Memphis has an outside chance in the West. Or like maybe if the Lakers somehow put it together a little bit. I wouldn't want to see that.
I don't believe in the Lakers at all.
I think if I had to pick three, I would say Cavs, Celtics, and Thunder. And then maybe a couple other West contenders like below that.
I see that. I think number one, the Thunder, it's the end of the conversation. That's something else to talk about. They beat Cleveland. They beat the hell out of Cleveland with no big men.
They did.
Had the other Jalen Williams starting.
Yeah. Chet just got injured again, though.
He stay injured.
I know.
It's all good. We're going to just ship him off for some more picks. He's going to be gone. I guarantee
You think
it.
so?
If Luka Doncic's getting traded, anybody will get traded, bro.
Damn, that's true.
Listen, Zion finna be gone.
I was a big Zion believer for a while, man. I've been sad to watch his lack of progression.
If there's one thing I love, it's fat NBA players. I love Barkley. I love Charles Barkley. I love like Larry Johnson. I love like fat who like Zach Randolph.
Oh my, Zebo.
I love fat hoopers, bro.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Lowry.
Zach Randolph was averaging 10 rebounds a game and couldn't
jump over
Couldn't
shit.
jump.
Yeah, bro, just post moves,
Incredible.
just muscle.
And he was what, 6'6"?
Yeah,
He wasn't that
about
enormous.
6'8". Yeah, he wasn't tall at all.
Yeah, he
Just-
wasn't like,
just pure will.
damn.
That's hoops, bro.
Well, I got. You were telling me about wrestling. You were telling. So it's
Okay.
basically like an action soap opera.
Yes, so it's like
So there's storylines
there's-
and action. Oh,
there's
that's-
storylines, and like one storyline intersects with another storyline.
Okay.
And then, you got your championship. It's like they're fighting over the belt sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, actually, I don't like this motherfucker. Like,
Okay.
when they're not fighting for a belt, it's off of pure beef.
Nice.
And sometimes it's family stuff. Like, have you heard of Roman Reigns?
Yeah, yeah.
So, the bloodline, it's been like, he makes like, it's family, man. Like, me and my cousins are here to beat y'all asses.
Damn.
It's like a mob boss, like a Samoan mob boss. It's the best shit ever. And like last night, John Cena, he done turned, so he like went evil.
Why would he do that? Because he's been like the nice guy for so long.
Bro, that's the beauty of it. Why would he do that?
What, like his legacy's cemented. He doesn't need this.
Well, so this is his retirement year. So he said, this is my last year wrestling, then I'm done. I'm going, full-time Hollywood. Because basically I'm making more money doing Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
Why would I risk my body for this? And plus he's old. He got a fat-ass bald spot up there. It's crazy as fuck.
he's got to be like close to 50 now, right?
He's up there.
Yeah,
He's up there.
He's been at it a long time.
Still getting to it though.
Yeah.
And he's still in good shape, but he's not as big as he used to be.
Yeah.
And he got that fat ass bald spot. And it's like, damn, our heroes are washed. But yeah, last night, so it's his last year, and he's tied for the most WWE championships with Ric Flair. He has to tie the record. If he wins one more, he has the most.
Okay.
And he's like, well, I'm trying to break that record, then I'm going to retire. So, make mine. And he's like, somebody else is going to break it one day, but da-da-da-da-da. He's trying to be on his good guy shit.
Yeah.
And he's been all on his good guy. So he lost the Royal Rumble. He got knocked out last by Jey Uso.
Okay.
So that was like one of his chances to go to WrestleMania. So he was like, oh, fuck. But he played it cool then. You could see that he was like, he shook his hand. He was all sportsmanlike. And then last night, he won the Elimination Chamber. So he's going to WrestleMania. And The Rock is a chairman on the board that owns WWE and UFC.
Whoa.
So he comes out and he's been trying to get the champion to be like, hey, he literally says, sell me your soul and I'll put you in movies, blase, blase, blase. Basically like sign your, you know what I'm saying? He gonna try to put him on. And that dude's like, fuck you. He's said to his face, he's like, fuck you. And then he was like, all right, cool. And then him and John, they shook hands, they hugged. And then The Rock hit him with the little, like, hey, fucking kill The Rock. Another John Cena was like, and beat his ass, kicked him in his nuts. It was crazy.
So how much of this is scripted? How much of it is real in real time? Or is it just kind of like,
The beauty of it?
we'll just watch and enjoy?
We don't know how much is scripted.
Yeah.
Because you'll watch an interview of like an old dude and he'll be like, no, I actually didn't like that motherfucker. So I really hit him upside his head with a chair or like,
Damn.
But like, no, it's scripted. Like they plan it out. But to say it's not fake because motherfuckers are really falling on their, ass.
It's not CGI.
Right, like-
they're out there getting hurt.
They're out there getting hurt quite often, actually. And nah, man, it's peak shit, dude.
So if I wanted to tune in to see this final John Cena arc, what do I need to know? What should I be watching?
All right, so this is John Cena's retirement year.
So WrestleMania is what I need to see.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
You need to watch WrestleMania this year.
When is that happening?
Do you know, Evan? It's like next month.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's like
Usually
next
in
month.
April, okay.
So it's the next big pay-per-view. So I think it is like next month.
Nice. Wow. Okay, I actually might check that out. Especially since it's John Cena's retirement year.
John Cena's retirement year.
Mr. Make-A-Wish.
Right. The most Make-A-Wishes ever. More than Captain America and them.
Do you know, have you heard, are you familiar with Shane Gillis at all?
Yeah.
So have you heard his bit about John Cena? Or it's like kind of, he said like the kids.
Oh yeah, the kids love him.
Yeah.
Down syndrome kids.
And he
love
was
him.
like, if you see John Cena, you run. Like that guy's the angel of death for you.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
like once he walk in the hospital room, like, oh damn, that's my last day.
I remember what else he said that the kids at the basketball camp were like, we want to meet John Cena. And he's like, oh, you guys are going to have to get way worse.
I gotta get sick as hell. That's funny as hell.
Man, he is funny. Let's see here. Dude, that's cool. I know very little about wrestling. I would say because of my previous career, like most of my sports knowledge is like very golf based. NBA, I'm a total casual.
Do you watch that indoor golf league? Shit's kind of whack, ain't it?
Really.
Yeah, that virtual.
It looks fun to do, but I think it's like the guys that are doing it, they're like, we want to do this. This seems fun. Like, we don't have to go travel and like be outside. We just go in this stadium and fuck around.
I saw Tiger on there just shitting the bed. Just this guy's washed. Oh my goodness, his son's cold though.
Tiger is his body is it is.
He's been through it.
Yeah, him and I had the same. He's had much more surgeries, but one of the surgeries we had was the same.
What kind of surgery was it?
Lower spinal partial fusion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Golf related. It's pretty much same injury, same reason, except he's 4,000 times better than me.
Were you also with the hose like Tiger was?
I was not. I think that's why I wasn't able to make that recovery, because I wasn't getting that spinal mobility back
like Tiger
at
was,
the same rate he was.
Tiger was with the hose.
Yeah, it was part of his rehabilitation protocol. He's getting forward flexion, extension. I mean, he's really working that area out. And I think mine atrophied, and that was the problem.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when like the celebrities, they get caught doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they leak their text messages. Like, did you see what happened to Steve Smith Jr.?
No.
So Steve, the football player?
Wait, maybe I've heard about it. Yeah, tell me about it. I think I heard about it tangentially.
Used to be the wide receiver on the Panthers.
Panthers and Ravens?
One of the best to ever do it. Yeah. So this dude, I guess Steve Smith was fucking his wife. And the dude put the text messages on, and he was like, Steve Smith, aka the wide receiver, just started listening off his resume. He's like, 9-time Pro Bowler, was fucking my wife. And he like put the text messages, and it's like, it was just heinous shit. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that we don't need to see.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to know how Steve Smith fucks,
And I think the dude was trying to shame his wife and Steve Smith, but it just made it look that much worse because you just putting your wife texting another dude some just nasty ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now it makes it look like some cuck stuff.
It absolutely does. Just like with like when they did Tiger, like Tiger got all that trouble, and I'm thinking, here he did here are the women, and I'm like, damn, why do you have to do all that? Like he did bad, okay, but like we don't got to see the ladies.
Yeah, they really parade. That was a massive scandal.
They also made him. Why is that a scandal?
Oh, because he was married. That was like the main thing.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But like, there's so much other bad shit that be going on in sports. You can't put him on the same level as like other people just because like, he was freaking.
So as somebody who like came from the golf, the reason that it was such a big deal was mostly due to like how the culture of golf is portrayed and insulated. Like on the PGA Tour, they don't do suspensions and fines in public. Mm-hmm. What they do, for performance-enhancing drugs they do. But for behavior and drugs and all that, they just say that the player is injured or on a leave of absence.
Right.
So it's like so when Tiger, who was like the face of the PGA
the
Tour,
GOAT.
He was by far, and I think there was probably a racial and cultural component too. So they were like holding him up to this impossible standard.
Stop Asian hate.
Yeah, he was like this anointed one.
Right.
And then it turns out like, oh, this guy's human.
Right.
And he gets a little freaky at a high frequency.
No, he gets a lot of freaky. That was a lot of ladies. But
yeah, there was allegedly hundreds.
Well, hear me out. This is the best golfer ever.
Yeah.
What do we expect? It's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
He going to the golf club. First of all, let's talk about the culture of golf clubs because they're giving out free mimosas all damn day. The lady being a little, he probably went to the damn bar. She was like, oh my God, you're Tiger Woods. And he was like, got him. Like, that's all it took for Tiger.
From what I heard, he was into the more hardcore ladies. There's stories. I don't know.
Tiger is a milkman.
I don't know how true this stuff is, but there are stories that when he would be winning the biggest tournaments in the world, he works out in the morning, play the round, do some treatment and rehab after, have dinner, say goodnight to his coach and his caddy. I'm going to turn in, go to his hotel room, stay up all night, fucking like 3 women, like in shifts.
I see no issue with that at all.
And then go play the next day.
I see no issue with that at all.
It's
all
kind
I
of
heard
remarkable.
was he went to work, he got the job done, he enjoyed some time off.
I think if he was single,
that would have
been a but I think it was like he had so much sponsorship money coming in. I'm not saying the railroading of his public image was right, but I do see why it happened.
I think it was excessive.
For sure. Making him do like the apology tour press conferences and stuff.
Well,
crazy.
you do have to be like, hey, Like, I mean, he should do like an apology to like his wife.
Yeah,
That's the only person he really needs to apologize to.
Well, after she hit him in the face with a golf club and he had to get like
she got her justice. Yeah.
Have you seen the SNL sketch with Kenan Thomas? So funny. One thing I like to do at the end of episodes is a couple of fun segments. Give a funny person a chance to be funny. So like an improv segment and a would you rather segment. A couple of improv ideas I had. We could do your Sergeant Cheeks, you catch me sneaking out of the barracks.
Okay.
And I'm in trouble. Or, you mentioned it earlier, so I wrote this down because I thought it'd be funny. One of us is an Army recruiter trying to recruit the other.
Let's do that one, man.
Do you want to be the recruiter or the recruitee?
I'll be the recruiter. I never got to be a recruiter.
Okay. And I've never had a recruiting experience.
Bet.
So to set it up, you're an Army recruiter. I'm a civilian. It's the last day of the month. You need one more sign up to make quota.
Gotcha.
Okay. So where do we meet? Where am I?
Where do you frequent?
Like now or when I was like 18?
Yeah, like prime teenage Cody.
I would say
Like the mall.
Yeah, the mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, bet.
Okay, so I'm at the mall. I'm just walking around.
Hey, man.
Oh, hello.
I see you don't got nothing in your hands.
Nope.
You
empty.
must be poor. I know what'll help that out. You ever thought about joining the United States military?
I haven't given it much thought.
Well, hey, man, I think you should give it a thought, man.
Really?
You know, they got a lot of benefits, good benefits. You want to go to college?
Well, yes, I do.
They pay for college, man.
They pay. I thought I would be overseas fighting.
No, they pay for college, man.
Really?
They pay for college.
How so? How do they pay for college?
They give you money, then you give it to the college.
Is this real?
Dead ass.
Wow.
I put it on my heart, bro.
So I can go to
I got keys to a Challenger right now if you want one.
Give me a Challenger.
Bro, we'll give you a Challenger. You just got to sign your name on that contract.
Oh, okay. What's tell me some of the details of this contract. I want to make sure I'm
You just got to serve the United States Armed Forces, you know. You may or may not be called to war if it happens, but I mean, look at the current political climate. We're not going to war anytime soon. There's nothing crazy going on in the world at all. So you'll be fine, bro.
So you think if I joined up, it'd be totally safe? I'd go to college. I'd drive a Challenger.
This is the best job you can get at 18, bro.
Okay.
There's not a better career out here for an 18-year-old.
Interesting.
What else can you do?
Well, I have a full ride academic scholarship to college. You think throw that away?
What college?
UCO.
Brother, you're going to go to UCO before the United States Army?
You think choosing USO over USA is a bad idea?
Brother, you could be fucking Korean bitches by next month.
Really?
Yes, we have you overseas.
Now, I did not know Southeast Asian women were on the menu. If that's
Brother, wherever you get stationed, that's...
If you can put in a transfer order to Southeast Asia, I will take the Challenger and the academic.
Oh,
money.
I can't do Challenger and Korea, bro. You got to pick one up.
Let's
all right.
let's go to Korea.
You're a little too greedy for your Uncle Sam. All right, chill out now. Okay, so if I can get you to Korea, you'll join the United States military.
How long do I have to serve?
Well, I tell you what. You sign the paper, and I'll go back and ask them, and I'll get back to you with that information.
So I gotta sign the paper before I get any questions.
Just customary shit, you know. It's just.
This is how it always goes.
Nothing said. That's generally how it goes. Like,
okay,
recruiters are such pieces of shit, bro. My recruiter was a piece of shit, bro.
Well, if you can get me Korea and college, sign me up.
Do you have any pre-existing conditions?
Asthma.
Asthma? We're lie about it.
Okay.
Just tell them you don't.
Got it.
All right. You the kids, wife?
Yes, both.
You'll lose them both. You'll lose them both. You don't worry about it. We'll get you a new one.
Well, as long as they have each other.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to Korea. What am I talking about? That's a new start for me.
Get you a new PlayStation.
Wow. You're a pretty good recruiter. That was well done. I feel like I just signed my life away.
That's what happened.
So in reality, now, because you were very smooth, very friendly, I was just in the mall being a teenager, and now I have my whole life mapped out. In reality, what did I just agree to?
You are going to hate your life for the next. You're literally there's going to be. I once had to sweep a dirt road.
What?
I had to sweep a dirt road once.
How do you know when you're done?
You're never done.
So it was just
that's exactly it.
Okay.
No, like it's prison with a pension for real.
Damn.
No, it's not. I'm overreacting, but it's just fucking. It's at its worst, it's terrible, but at its best, it's dope. But
Okay.
at its worst, it's fucking terrible.
How often is it at its best, and how often is it at its worst?
It really depends.
Okay.
It's what's crazy. It's sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not your day. You know, just like how
That's
you
just
see how
like
the Thunder
life.
are right now, best
Yeah.
team in the league.
Oh, I love the
But remember when we had a starting lineup of like Moses Brown and fucking
Nanad Kirstich.
right, like fucking Samaj Christian type shit,
Yeah.
or like those post Westbrook, like even when like Chris Paul left,
Yeah. And we
When,
won
like-
like 22 games.
and then like Shea was hurt too, and we had like Dennis Schroeder, and like Dennis Schroeder was the best player on the team at one point. And like that was the worst, right? But now we beating the shit out of teams.
Yeah.
They were like the best defense in the league. Just like, you know, they had to go through the bad days and the good days came. It was like that in the Army too, man. It was just like, you know, you have a terrible day, you have a great day. I know people who I always look at it. It's somebody having a worse day right now.
That's true. It's a good metaphor for life. You got a good
Truthfully.
perspective. Sometimes you might have a good day, sometimes you might have a bad day, but you go to bed, you wake up again, and you try your
And then it's shitty all over again.
It's shitty all over
Like
again.
Nas said, life's a bitch and then you die.
I did
Well,
not
several
know-
people said that, but Nas made the song. Also, AZ did the chorus, but
I need to listen to more rap music.
life's a bitch and then you die. You never heard that song? You ever heard Illmatic?
I've heard of the album.
Man, all right. So here's your homework. Give me a pen. Give me a pen. Give me a pen.
Give me some homework.
All
here.
right.
Based on what you've learned about me today, I might have some homework to do.
Watch Monday Night Raw. It's on
Monday
Netflix.
Monday Night Raw sounds like a recurring porn category.
Hey, in my house. No. Listen to.
I'm not
it.
watching Monday Night Raw. I'm filming Monday Night Raw.
I'm the #1 competitor. Listen to Illmatic.
Listen to Illmatic. Okay.
Evan, Cody, I got anything? He's never heard Illmatic. So
I've heard of the album, but I've never listened to it.
I'm giving him some homework.
No, I would say my knowledge of culture, not just of other cultures, even my own, is very limited.
I mean, all you do is watch stand up.
I'm big into academics. Like I'm a good student. So
rap's dumb to you, motherfucker? No, I'm
no,
sorry.
I just culture in general, movies,
got you.
music.
Okay, what's a movie I want you to watch, man?
Friday. You mentioned it earlier.
I did talk about Friday earlier. Nah, I mean, everybody's watched Friday. If you're gonna watch it, if I'm gonna have you watch a movie, it's gonna be a deep cut. I need a deep. You ever seen Booty Call with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson? There we go.
Oh, okay. Booty Call.
Booty Call. It's Jamie Foxx, Tommy Davidson, Vivica A. Fox.
Ooh.
Okay, we got a movie, we got an album, we got a TV show.
Oh, this is good.
Y'all got anything y'all want to recommend, Cody? I'm giving them homework, and if you don't watch this shit, I'm gonna put a copyright report on this episode. Like, this motherfucker didn't listen to my instructions. All right, bet. Watch. Since you like stand up, Martin, one of the stand up. Watch 2 seasons. My favorite episode
Just
is
any two.
Watch the Varnell Hill episode.
Varnell Hill. Okay.
That is my favorite episode.
Mark Lawrence is special when the Lorena Bobbitt when she cuts.
Oh yeah. Is that the one where he's wearing the brown? Yeah.
He's like, Your Honor, that was my dick. Why is this a
Right. Have you ever seen Raw
like the
by Eddie
wrestling?
Murphy? No, Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
Murphy. Actually, watch Monday Night Raw and Eddie Murphy's Raw.
I have seen Eddie Murphy Raw before, but I will
Okay.
watch it again.
That is one of my favorite. Actually, let's question what's your top 5 stand-up specials?
Specials or comedians?
What's your top 5 specials and then comedians?
Specials.
I want to hear
Let me make sure I can.
because like you got a favorite comedian, but like I feel like with comedy, some folks I know it's like a lot of older comedians in their older years it's not hitting the same.
Yeah.
But like in their peak, it's like damn.
Okay, my tastes in comedy are kind of sporadic.
Yeah, do your thing.
Number 1 is religion, sex, and a few things in between. Rory Scovel.
Okay.
That's my number 1.
Okay.
I would say 2 through 5 kind of can fluctuate. I would say Cat Williams' Great America.
Okay.
I love that special. That has got to be up there.
That's a more recent one, right?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
I just think because he opens with like local stuff about Jacksonville, and then he does a bunch of like clever bits, but he also has like these big physicalities, and I was just like, damn, this is the entire toolkit on
He
display.
did that for Pimp Chronicles too, because he was in Atlanta and he was like, yeah, he does, yeah, he did that for I think a couple other ones too.
Damn. Bigger and Blacker
by Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. I think the bullet control, gun control joke is one of the cleverest, funniest. And I haven't seen every stand-up special. That's the like hardest I've ever seen somebody kill at their special.
Right.
Because sometimes it doesn't all. You only have a couple chances to film it. The room is like every crowd shot is people like falling out of their chairs, passing out.
He
I'm like,
killed it.
Holy shit!
That is one of the best.
What else? That's 3. 2 more. There's regardless of his scandals, Louis C.K. There's a few of his that I'm just like blown away by, and I think what's impressive about him is like even his most recent one, Live at the Dolby. It's like he's still got it.
No, he's still hilarious. Yeah.
And then probably Dave Chappelle, Equanimity and the Bird Revelation. That was like when I was first getting into stand up, not just as like a listener, but like, oh, I might want to like try this before I first ever did an open mic.
That is a great special, dude.
I'm trying to think of. Oh no, you know what? The Age of Spin. I actually like even better. I'm gonna recant. I'm gonna say I like that one even better because it has the Care Bear story. It has the 3 times he met O.J. Simpson. Yeah, damn, that one's really good too. Okay. All right, I would say those are my top 5.
Okay.
What about you? What would your
Patrice O'Neal, Elephant in the Room?
I just watched that recently.
That's probably
for the first time.
That and Chappelle's Killing Them Softly. Ooh. Those are like tied for number 1 and 2. Those are like my 1 and 2. Eddie Murphy Raw. Bernie Mac on Kings of Comedy.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, he kills, bro. He fucking kills. And then I want to say Hannibal Buress' special, the what you call it, Animals. I can't remember. Or
I haven't watched a ton of his stuff actually.
I love Hannibal Buress.
Just watch his Comedy Central stuff.
Richard Pryor's live at what you call it? Is it not Sunset Boulevard? But like, was it Rodeo or something? Richard Pryor, the one where he lights the matchstick on fire and he's like, "It's me." That was like one of my favorites because I love when people are like making fun of themselves. Okay. And Richard was just the best at that. And then like I loved Kevin Hart's Laughing My Pain. That was the one. I remember we was in high school when that came out, and everybody came to school the next day just quoting the fuck out of Kevin Hart. That's why people be hating on Kevin Hart now, because I was like, stop that shit. Like we wasn't fucking.
I hate it when people hate on somebody that's like made it to that level.
Right.
It's like it's not an accident,
right? But I say that's my like not set in stone, but off the top of my head, there's
a couple of those I haven't seen. I need to go check them out.
And then my top 5 comedians ever is Patrice, Dave, Bernie. I want to say Paul Mooney.
Okay.
Actually, I take it back. I got to put Paul Mooney in my with Paul Mooney. Yeah, Dave, Patrice, Bernie, Paul Mooney. I might put Bill Burr.
Oh, he's awesome.
But then again, I'll put Bill Burr. But then I want to put Richard. And then I want to put Eddie. If you put a gun to my head, though, and I'd be like, fuck, I put Richard.
Okay.
I'd say Richard, yeah.
That's a good list. Who would be I didn't name my top 5 comedian. Who would
Yeah, let's hear your top 5.
Also, I just realized I didn't.
You give me Matt Rife. Yeah. Matt Rife.
I would probably say
Maddie Smith.
Yeah. I've actually seen her live. She killed
she's
really
funny as hell.
hard. Yeah. Very high energy.
Right.
Who would be my Rory Scovel's like my number 1. Do you know Joe List?
Yeah.
The white guy with the glasses.
He's funny. I liked his last special. I think it's like My Name's on the List or something like that.
Yeah, it's this year's, and the sign behind him just says Joe, and he makes all the jokes about the sign.
That's a funny ass special, yeah.
I love Joe List. Man, one of his specials might even be one of my favorites too. It's Rory Scovel, Joe List, Louis C.K., Chris Rock. I liked his early stuff a lot better. I know that's like cliche to say,
yeah.
But some of that early stuff, like you just hadn't seen anything like that before.
Yeah, that like the one he dropped like what, like 99 and 2001.
The Bigger and Blacker and
Bigger
Bring
and
the
Blacker and
Pain.
Bring the Pain.
I was like, especially
that's-
putting myself in that headspace of that era. It's like this guy is so different.
That's like the equivalent, like when DMX dropped Is Dark and Hell Is Hot, and then what was the other one he dropped around the same year? When DMX dropped his two like best albums, and what was the other? X Gonna Give It To You. Was that the name of the album? What was the name of the other album? But that's like the equivalent of that, where like he just dropped two bangers, like room shaking, just cultural. Yeah, and he's like got the blood on him. Also, amazing album cover. That's dope as hell. That could be my next comedy album cover, bro. Just me in a white room, drenched, just not blood though, because that's gross. But
That would be cool. I'm trying to think I would say that like if we're talking like
yeah, that was I'm sorry.
talking all time, it would be like Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, probably Chris Rock. But then like my current favorites like Rory Scovel, Joe List. I know I'm like forgetting
Current favorites.
yeah.
I fuck with Shane Gillis heavy, man.
Dude, he's really good.
I fuck with Shane Gillis.
It's kind of like it does. Like the reason I believe that he's so good is because a lot of the stuff he says is stuff that I kind of disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so good, I'm like dying laughing.
Right.
I think that's the mark of somebody who's like really good.
Yeah. I feel like he's just really. I feel like he is down to earth. Like he's not like one of those like, see a lot of comedians once they get big, they be like, now I got to write this super complex, unrelatable ass material that only intellectuals are gonna get, but I'm talking about my dick for 5 minutes, type shit. Like
When I was in my mother's womb,
I was
awareness
conscious,
came to me
right?
of my gift. And I just need to share that with y'all tonight in this room.
Like boo.
I do know what you're talking about, like a comedian that's been around for a long time. They'll put out a special and a lot of it is just like self-reflective, a lot of applause. You're like, all right, cool. But all right, man, this was a great episode. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, yeah.
We had some fun.
Hey,
You
thank you.
shared some insight, touched on my heart,
Thank
gave
you.
me some homework.
Do that shit.
This is my
man.
first episode that somebody's given me homework, so I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, man, we got to spread knowledge, man. Listen to Illmatic. Watch Eddie Murphy's Raw.
I have already seen it, but I'll watch it again.
Monday Night Raw. And then what else is on there?
Booty Call and 2 seasons of Martin.
Booty Call should be on Tubi.
On Tubi. Okay, perfect. Man, Cepeda, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me,
We'll
man.
see you soon. We can't wait to see your career flourish.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm trying my best.
We'll
And
catch you
hey,
next time.
I'm excited to see what you got next, man.
Thank you, sir.
You're killing it yourself,
I
man.
appreciate that.
For sure.
Thank you, man.